This happened to me when I was around 14 years old.
You
I was
sound...
at a sort of
No,
religious
I don't want to say
class
it.
located far from our main school building. I was drawing my cartoon characters, waiting for my teacher. However, an hour had passed and he didn't come. One of my classmates went out to see what was wrong, and it turned out that our teacher didn't arrive yet. So we had to wait a bit longer.
This was the best
After
day
she
in
told us
class.
that information, we continued waiting. I started drawing again until one of my friends, Aina, suddenly pulled on my sleeve and whispered, "Something is wrong with CT." I looked at CT, who was sitting at the back with the loud group. She wasn't saying anything or laughing.
CT
Well,
dead.
it was quite weird seeing her like
Oh,
that, because she was the one who always talked a lot in that group. And then I saw that she was holding a small piece of black cardboard and a pocket knife. Since we had an art class that day, I thought that she might have been doing her homework at first.
I would just turn around and leave that room. Fuck CT.
But I froze when I glanced at her the second time. She started carving something on the cardboard, and very aggressively.
Oh
I couldn't see what she was carving, but she then woke up, went outside of the classroom, and stood there staring at something. Aina poked my shoulder, signaling that I should check out CT's cardboard. So I sneakily went to my
you should
seat
leave.
to grab the piece of cardboard she left on the table and went back to my seat.
That shit
As
cursed.
soon as we flipped the cardboard over, we got goosebumps all over our bodies. Something was written on it.
Cacao
The
department.
words meant, "We didn't disturb them, they disturb us," in our language. Aina and I looked at each other. When I got up to return the piece of cardboard, CT was already in her seat and stared at me with a scrutinizing look on her face.
You stole her cardboard,
I sat
dude.
down and slid the piece of cardboard under my desk.
That
All of a
felon.
sudden, I had the sudden urge to know what the heck was going on. So I got up and went towards her with Aina. "Hey CT, how's it going?" I asked. But she didn't answer my question. Then I could hear Aina whispering the Lord's Prayer, and my fear alarm started buzzing again. Then Aina tried to talk to CT, but for some reason, she suddenly shuddered. And I knew the reason. CT started to mumble the exact words that she had carved onto the cardboard.
God,
But this
that's
time,
terrifying.
Her voice changed. She sounded like a demon. Her voice was deeper and
she had
lower
demon
than
hoe.
a man's, and her eyes simultaneously started to turn white. Her mumbling was getting louder, and now she began to scream while shaking her whole body.
Leave the
Everybody
room,
in
fam.
the class stood on their seats and watched what
No.
CT was doing with
You leave.
fear.
You leave.
Before long, CT suddenly stopped, dropped her face slowly down on the desk, and began to sleep. I quickly returned to my seat and tried to take out the cardboard,
But it wasn't
not
there. It wasn't
I
there.
searched all over the classroom, even inside of the bin.
The garbage.
But it was gone. The next morning, I went to CT and asked her what she was doing in class yesterday, and she replied, "Oh, I was sleeping during the whole class." "You sure?" I asked again, but she said yes, nodding her head.
She got demons on her shoulders.
Was my friend possessed? Could it be real? And what she told me next made my face turn white and my heart drop. "Oh yeah, while I was sleeping yesterday, I was at some church, and I saw a very beautiful stained glass window with a nun. I wonder who that nun was, though." Well, this happened when I was in high school. I had a twin-size bed in my room and decided to leave both my door and my mom's door open. Our bodies were facing opposite directions.
What?
I couldn't sleep that night, so I turned on my MP3 player and
never
was
had
laying
this
in
problem.
bed listening to music. All of a sudden, I felt a little strange, so I turned my head around, and at that moment, I froze. I saw a person's foot on my mom's body. First of all, if someone gets too nervous, it's hard to look around clearly. However, I slowly looked up, and then I saw the face of the person standing on her body. Literally, someone was standing on my mom's body. Well, it was the worst thing I've ever seen. I wanted to turn my head around again, but I couldn't.
Grab a
I
gun.
couldn't open my mouth or even listen to music anymore. I couldn't take my eyes off his face. His mouth was stretching and getting bigger and bigger until eventually it ripped right under his ear. I could see that the inside of his mouth was all red. I wanted to wake my mom up somehow, so I gathered up enough courage as I could. "Mom!" As soon as I yelled, everything disappeared like smoke. She ran into my room, hugged me, and reassured me that everything was okay. I was leaning on her now, so that I could calm down. Soon after, I put my earphones back in and turned on my MP3 player. And that moment was really crazy and just plain scary. All of my files were gone. I had around 300 songs on the device,
Oh my
but
God,
all the
the real
songs were
terror.
erased for
The
no
real
reason.
terror.
I couldn't sleep at all that night and still felt bad even after waking up the next morning, so I
rocks
ended
are
up
sad.
breaking my MP3 player.
Oh shit!
Well, why did my music files disappear?
Oh my God!
A few moments later.
Bro! He's a ghost, fam. He's a ghost. He came over, took your iPod, and listens to BTS. Alright. Last one. Last one. This is too long now. Last one.
I used to wear a lot of wigs for my job.
This girl is actually good at what she does. So props.
One day I needed a short bob cut wig, so I bought one and kept it at my house for a while.
Jobs that need wigs. Cosplayer.
But then, something strange happened. The next day, my mom suddenly came into my room and said this. "Hey, why do you keep calling me?"
You picked the wrong house, fool! Fool! You picked the wrong motherfucking house, fool! Fool! You picked the wrong house, fool!
Huh? What are you talking about, Mom? I haven't called you once. I replied to her, but she insisted that she kept hearing my voice. It was kind of weird, but soon I ended up thinking that she was just hearing things or hallucinating. A few days later, while I was eating dinner with my mom and watching a TV drama, we heard a small voice. "Mommy!" What the? I stood up, and what made things scarier was the voice sounding exactly like mine. At first, I thought I misheard it, but I kept hearing the sound. I grabbed my mom's hand, and we followed the direction the sound was
Okay,
coming
so
from.
both of them hear it.
As I was getting closer to the shoe rack near the front door, I realized the sound seemed to be coming from it. It was at that moment. "Mom!" The loud sound in my ears surprised me so much that my heart almost dropped. Well, eventually...
What the hell happened in the shoe closet, fam? You skipped it, dude. Somebody get some spaghetti or something. What?
I went back to my room and fell asleep, failing
What about the mom? What does she do?
to reveal the cause of the sound. That night, I had a dream. In my dream, little girls were jumping rope and moving in slow motion, like in a horror movie. I couldn't see their faces because the children's faces were all blurry as if they were covered by fog.
I mean, like high school girls in your dream, fam. I don't care who it is, you know what I'm saying?
However, as soon as I tried to reach them, they looked at me at the same time. At that moment, I had no choice
It's
but
all
to
the same.
scream.
It's the same face.
Their fronts and backs were all covered by a bob cut hairstyle. Well, I had the
Oh.
same dream for a few more days. My mom and I concluded that there was something wrong with the bob cut wig that I bought. Eventually, I burned the wig. And strangely enough, everything returned to normal after I burned the wig.
What did you guys think about it? If you liked it, please like this video. It really helps me. I'm trying to get to 5 million subscribers this year. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers this year. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it for the money, by the way, just to be clear, 100%. Anyways, if there's a video that you guys want to see, please leave it in the comment section below, or follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @thevoos. And on Twitter, it's like _voos. Please, because I'm posting a lot of Gucci content there for all of you to see, and you can interact as well. All of you, I mean one of you. So, let's get it.
What the fuck?